Hola, bienvenidos a Lightspeed Spanish. Today I'm going to share with you a verb that breaks all of the rules in the Spanish past. Hablamos de todo en la segunda parte. So some of you might remember the video that I did about the Spanish past, saying that two preterite actions can't happen at the same time. And during that video I said, except one verb that does something really strange, but I won't get into it in the video. I didn't want to confuse the issue. And lots of people in the comments, and thank you very much for the comments, said, what verb is it? Well, I'm here to tell you what it is. The verb is estar. So what's unusual about estar? Well, estar is the only verb, as far as I know, up to now, 27 years in learning Spanish, this is the only verb that I've seen that actually does two actions at the same time in the preterite. It's bizarre. Let me explain. So I was once in an immersion class, giving a class about the past, and I was with Cynthia, and I said, you can't do two preterite actions at the same time. It's physically impossible. I said, for example, you can't say, mientras estuve en Francia, aprendí francés. And Cynthia tapped me on the shoulder and said, yes, you can. And in that moment, two things happened. One is my face went red because I was giving a class and I was thinking, wow, they're going to think that I don't know what I'm talking about. And the second thing that happened was mass confusion in my mind. What the dickens was happening? So I started to look into it. And sure enough, mientras estuve en Francia, aprendí francés is absolutely fine. And lots of native speakers say that. In fact, lots of native speakers, when they're talking about whilst I was in this place, this happened, whilst I was in that place, that happened, they use mientras estuve. So I went round and I spoke to all the Spanish people that I knew, asking them about this sentence. And I would say, right, what about this sentence? Mientras estuve en Alemania, aprendí alemán. How does that sit with you? And they'd say, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And then I'd say, okay, so what about this sentence? Mientras estaba en Alemania, aprendí alemán. And they said, yeah, that's fine. What was going on? Now, I got lots of explanations about one feeling slightly different to the other. And when you say mientras estuve, you're talking about the entire time, the whole time as a block. However, everybody had a slightly different opinion about what it meant, but everybody was happy that you could say mientras estuve en Alemania, mientras estaba en Alemania. As far as I know, that's the only verb that does that. I've tried other verbs with native speakers. What about this one? Could you say mientras comí, hablé con él? And they say, no, mientras comía, hablé con él. But with estar, yes. However, a bit of advice. We as students of the Spanish language, what we need as students of the Spanish language is conformity, rules, regulations, things that we can follow. My advice is when you get to whilst I was in certain place, just use mientras estaba. Be aware that you're going to hear every now and again mientras estuve, but we want to stick to the same rules, which is let's not use two preterite verbs at the same time. We can't, except for estar. Así que, ese es el verbo que rompe todas las reglas y las normas sobre el uso del pretérito en español. Y ¿sabéis una cosa? Mientras estuve en Marruecos, yo comí un montón de couscous. Y mientras estuve en Francia, yo comí caracoles. Y mientras estuve en México, yo me quemé así de veces con el chile. So that's the secret. You can choose to keep that to yourself or you can share it about in your Spanish classes. Bueno chicos, muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Os quiero mucho.